afternoon. I haven't done a video in a while, mostly because I really hate my teeth right now. I'm not going to go into that because that's not the whole reason why I wanted to do this video. No, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was debating, because I don't always, when the Lord tells you something, it's for you, So to always kind of be like, oh man, this would be a great post, or, no, let me get out of it what the Lord intended for me to get out of it. And then if it comes up in conversation, it's great. So anywho, I have often kind of felt, and I was talking to the Lord about this one morning. He woke me up and we were just sitting out the living room, him and I, and we're just talking. And I've often felt, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, that when I think of hell, right? I go, man, hell is harsh. It's harsh, like that's a harsh punishment, and I was just talking to the Lord, and I'm like, Lord, really? I was like, hell? I mean, hell it's forever. It's hot. Not just hot, but burning fiery flame. And I was thinking about some of the worst people that I know of that have ever been in the history of mankind, and I think of, like a Hitler, or I think of a Nero that killed thousands of people and just had no regard for human life, and sex traffickers, and, you just think about some of the Ted Bundys, or the dirtiest, filthiest, grossest humans that ever walked the planet. And then you go, okay, all right, so let's say, all right, so they are in hell. If they did not repent, they are in hell. And you sit there and you go, wow. Or you think of somebody that may have affected you personally. You killed my brother. You killed my cousin. You killed my mom. Things that may be personal to you, where you feel very vehemently passionate about it, right? And a lot of times I will sit there and I'll go, man, even with that, like, hell is still, it's forever. It's a very long time. And I just go, Lord, why so harsh? I know you created hell for the devil. Newsflash, the devil's never been to hell. I didn't know that until when that was told to me. I was like, well, dog, you're right. He's never been to hell. So that's crazy, right? So it was designed to torment Satan and his angels, right? Those that fell from grace, those that left and followed Satan. So I'm sitting there going, okay, so it was designed for them. I was like, but why so harsh? Why such a harsh? And you know what? The Lord with me, he drops these one-liners that just go right to the jugular, and I can't refute it because it's just like, yeah, that's the truth. And he just, while I'm sitting there in the living room, said, you've got to understand, when you see hell, that's how I feel about sin. Now, kind of let that sink in for a second. That's how I feel about sin. Because we can we can kind of poo-poo certain sins. Oh, I ran that red light. Oh, I told a white lie. And we don't really think about it with that gravity. I mean, you go back to Adam and Eve and you're like, well, darn it, he just ate a fruit. What's the problem? He ate the fruit. Big whoop-de-doo. What's the big deal? That's how God feels about sin. And a lot of times we will, oh, God is merciful. God is full of love. God, and he is. But we never really deal with that he has that much love for mankind, but he also has that much vehement hatred. So much so that he made hell. That vehement hatred for sin. So if we think that God is just winking at me because I sinned a little bit. He hates sin. He sent Jesus to die in our place so that we'd have a chance, so that we would have an opportunity to get in. But he didn't send Jesus so that we could have a free-for-all. He didn't send Jesus so that we could just sin and sin and sin and sin and be like, oh, well, it's covered. Jesus has my tab. If I was Jesus, I'd feel a little bit used, wouldn't you? So Jesus didn't die so that we had a free ticket to do whatever we wanted while we were here. God hates sin. He hates it with a vehement hatred. So I just wanted to say that because that's what the Lord said to me. That's how much he hates sin. I'm in Cartwrighter line, so I'm not going to hit anybody. I'm driving legal. But I just wanted to share that because when he dropped that in my spirit, I just was like, wow. We don't think about that side. We don't think about that side of God. We don't think about his wrath. We don't think about what sin does to him. And my love for Christ, my love for God and what he forgave me for and what he did for me and what he saved me from ought to provoke me to holiness. It ought to make me grateful. It ought to make me say, God, I want to please you in everything. Nobody's perfect. Sorry, God, thanks for the offering, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite ready to give that up. I'm not quite ready to let that go. I'm not quite ready. Thanks for the offering, but I'm not ready. So those are just my 2 cents this morning.